hit that, and then we'll get started. Right. So, welcome to the world of Shattered Lands, boys and girls. We're going to be starting this campaign, doing it once a week. We're going to do each session into 2 blocks so that we can take a break in the middle. Before we start the story, why don't you guys just introduce your characters, starting with you, Ojo.
Yes. Let me go back to my notes very quickly. It's been like a week since I did this. My name. Wait. In character, right? I'm gonna try to do a character this time around.
I think you should.
Name is Muti. Muti Shark. Well, I look like I have some wraps around my wrists. Lots of boo-boos on my knuckles and fingers, and basically not looking very interesting, to be honest.
As much as the Goliath can't look interesting.
Yeah, I mean, you have seen lots of Goliaths around. This town is filled with Goliaths, so it's not a surprise to you, right?
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah. So I look a bit crappy, I would say, and scratch my head a lot. And yeah, I look like one of the folk in the streets, but slightly musclier,
And 7
leaner,
foot tall.
athletic. Yeah, but skinnier than your usual Goliath.
More lean.
Lean.
Yeah.
Lean, mean, fisting machine.
I know that some of your characters will know each other through your backgrounds as well. We'll come to that as we get into it. I'm sure you will have your things. But yeah, that's it. Cool. Charlotte.
Oh, and you know that I'm a forager because we all know each other's factions, I'm guessing.
Yeah. Well, once we start the story, we'll come into that straight away.
Nice.
But yes, forager's choice. Charlotte with the marshal's choice.
Hello, I'm Demetrius. I enforce the law. I often work actually at the Arcane Forge, so I've seen a few of you around. But my job is to make sure the law is being upheld, and at all costs, that it has to happen. Although I have seen some hardship caused by my actions. So I'm just going to leave it there.
Very good. What do you look like, Demetrius?
I am a black dragon born, so I don't wear a lot of armor. I'm just kind of like showing off the ripped muscles. But I do have a whip that I can take on my little belt as much as possible. I know that's part of my uniform. I don't take it off, but I've got a big great axe on my back. So I'm very much a looming presence. That's the vibe of I need to show that I've got this power over people when I'm walking through the streets. I don't smile.
Okay. And Demetrius is so far we've got Mute is the monk, Muty monk, and then we've got the dragonborn barbarian.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Harry, introduce your character. Who are you?
Are we doing full backgrounds?
Just how you look, and then just
A flavor.
yeah, a little.
Okay.
More
Well,
tickle our fancy.
my character is 7 foot tall. He's got a reputation of
Everyone's 7 foot tall. The average
Well,
height in
I can-
Haven's going to go right down after this.
I can only be 6 or 7 foot as an orc, so I didn't get much, choice. But obviously we maxed out. I'm a prevalently green orc. If anyone's watched the Warcraft movies and they're really bloody green, I'm like that, really bloody green.
Someone's shoved that contrast and colour saturation, just like
the fell tainted skin. No, but it's I've got plants growing all over me. I'm an older orc, more worn. I have a reputation. I'm not going into my backstory. Sorry, that's my description.
Yeah, that's cool. And you are a druid.
I am a druid, yes, and a herbalist.
The herbalist choice.
I am the one of the main herbalists for the Verdant Crown, which is the largest garden in the city, protected by the myself as a a member of something or another.
The herbalist.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm a herbalist. I'm a member of the herbalist.
Yeah. Well, sorry, you threw me off because I was going to go full into my backstory, and then you're like, no backstory, and
No backstory. Yeah.
threw me off my track.
I just gave a little like flavour.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
But I am an orc.
I am
Ra.
an orc. Ra. Fear me. And Alex.
You're
no, you're
muted,
muted.
Alex.
Right. It's obviously not just at work I do that. Yeah, I'm Palladir. I'm sort of about 5'8", fairly standard humanoid looking. I'm normal size.
Fucking dwarf over here.
So feeling small in the company currently. Yeah, so sort of normal build, sort of dark, sort of shoulder length hair, slight sort of shimmer to my hair. I've got a slight sort of a purpley glow around my eyes, around the whites of the eyes. So not quite sort of human, but definitely humanoid. So I'm an Asimir. I'm just wearing sort of normal clothes. Not knowing what normal clothes are, but yeah, no armor or anything like that. Just sort of the standard clothes. I worked at the forge all my life, and sort of you've probably seen me around. I've been there sort of quite a few years. Can't quite place how old I am. So
Too glowy.
Too glowy, yeah. It's not too obvious, but there's definite sort of shimmer if you catch the light in my hair or off my eyes.
I mean, machinists tend to be slightly sooty looking, and they wear quite utilitarian clothing as well. They usually have braces to try and help stop the intense heat. They often have blackened hands from spending hours of their days creating arcane pellets. Yes, that is your look, and you are of course a warlock.
Yeah.
And obviously Ellie's character will join us at some point. Not part of the city of Haven. Okay, we're going to start the adventure. The city of Haven, the last city in the Shattered Lands. You've been living here all your life. You know that this, after the fall, which nobody knows what caused the fall, nobody knows what happened to anyone else in the world, and that when the fall happened, the city gates closed, the arcane forge was fired up, and a shield protected the city. And for generations, that shield has kept the wasteland creatures, the heat, the violent death of the outside world at bay. And it has been a fairly idyllic life up until the last few generations, because the population has continued to grow and expand, but food is limited, resources are limited, metal is limited. There's no mines here to be able to plumb the depths for more new ore. There's no woodland spaces around outside of the green spaces on the rooftops that the herbalists look after. The steady hum you hear every day is the throbbing of the arcane forge that towers over the city, bearing down on you. The herbalists keep you alive. The machinists keep the outside from coming in. The marshals keep safety and make sure that everybody obeys the laws and that people are equally treated, supposedly. And the foragers, those strange mystical foragers who don't quite fit into the rest of society, they are the only ones who have ever left the city gates and travelled out into the world until now. As you know, Ilara, the mayor of the city, voted by the people for the people, has come up with a new plan in response to the ever-burgeoning growth of the city. Every street is littered with homeless people. Every home is crowded with multiple generations of families. The upper city still feeds fairly well and works hard, but but the Undercity is swelling and growing, and there's never enough food to go round, and there is no solution. The council, the true leaders of the city, those elitist politicians who control and decide the fate of All Haven, have for generations been frozen with ways to be able to solve this problem, unable to come up with new ideas. It just got worse and worse. And while the vast majority of the city have been able to eat basic food, remembering that there's no meat because there's no cattle. Well, you hear there's cattle and there is meat, but only for those wealthy enough and select enough to be able to get it. But for the vast majority, it's basic, low-level food, greens, radishes, potatoes, vegetables. There's very little variation, and nobody tends to fat in Haven. Everyone is lean, everyone is just about fed, unless you're from the Undercity, of course, where starvation is unfortunately prevalent. For many of you, it's not a reality you've ever had to deal with. All of you are vital parts of Haven society, and as such you are fed well, you work hard, and you consider that your duty is important, and being part of the upper city is a privilege and an honour. And while it's difficult to think about the Undercity, you know that something had to be done, and that was Alara's vision, to set forth groups of highly specialised people to the north, to the south, to the east, to the west, to find out once and for all, is there any life beyond Haven? Working with Seraphina, the herbalist, you've got a solution to be able to join up with the group if the group does find somewhere safe. Because there's no magic items in Haven, because the machine, the Arcane Forge, eats and feeds on magic items, it feeds on the arcane pellets. There's no magic weapons left to feed upon. There's no high-level spellcasters capable of teleporting across planes and across the world. And so you've had to come up with a much more low-level solution involving the druids and the portal tree. Over the last many years, Seraphina has grown this huge tree, a rarity indeed in Haven, and she has connected its seeds together using some sort of druidic powers unbeknownst to most of you apart from the Green Guardian. And you're to take those seeds and to travel as far as you can to the north to find safe pasture, somewhere with running water, maybe somewhere with natural resources, woods, mines, if you can find somewhere near ore, something like that, somewhere where the people of Haven can find themselves a place anew, where food can be brought back to the city, because this link between the tree will not be able to open up to everybody immediately. It will be a trickle at best, but if that trickle can bring resources and send out skilled labourers, then Haven has a chance. And that's the mission you've been chosen for. You've been excited about it, but it's hard to talk to anyone about it. You've been so dedicated to your role within society. When you were selected, or when you chose to be selected, little conversation has been had since then. And today is the day. You have been set forth with provisions. Herbalist, you have been given seeds to grow a variety of foods. You have been given 2 sets of the seeds for the portal tree, so that if you set down seed too early, you have one more chance. But be cautious. If you try to go too far, you might find that death finds you before you find your new home. For you, Alex, Palladia, you have been given 10 arcane pellets. Precious resources indeed. Seraphina has also given you, Green Guardian, 10 healing potions. Precious items indeed. But potion making is something that is still prevalent within the city. Unlike any form of physical magical item, a potion can still be brewed separately by herbalists from those capable of doing arcane pellets. And thus, these are a warranted gift. From the marshals, you have been given metal weapons and armor if you require it, Demetrius, so that you can set forth as best you can with the best weapons you have at hand. And you, Muti, have just your hands and your strength and your wit. And of course the knowledge of the immediate area outside of the city itself. And there's one last member you haven't yet met, the leader of your group, the council's choice, he who shall gather you together and lead you on this journey. And today is the day. You've said goodbye to any friends and family that you have nearby. Most of you, so dedicated to your cause, don't really have any immediately close family. You all definitely have family within the city because there is no travelling outside of the city. So somewhere within the warren of the city's buildings probably resides family members, mothers, fathers, siblings, aunts, uncles. Maybe not. It's hard to know. It's a harsh lifestyle in Haven. But you find yourself now at the huge gates at the entrance to Haven. You were expecting a fanfare, crowds, cheers, but standing in the shadowed wall with the heights of the arcane forge and the wall of protection looming over you at this spot, there is hardly anybody. There is no fanfares. There is no big farewells. You see 3 people. Seraphina, Alara, the mayor, and a human male, about 5'7", strong but wiry, with the standards that gait of a Havenite, lean, slightly muscular. He looks of middle-aged for a human. Some of you live longer than humans, some of you live less. He sports a well-trimmed beard and a ready smile, a glint in his eyes, and you can see that he's waving across the across the square to an inner gate. And you can see just beyond there's a small family, 2 young children and a wife crying. And he's kind of like, don't worry about me, it's going to be fine. I'll be back. We got this. He turns to Alara and Seraphina and says, I understand my mission. I know what we've got to do. Don't understand why you've only left it until now for me to meet the rest of the group. But, that's the council's choice. And he turns to you. A slight smile on his face. And you can see he's wearing light leather armour, but it's in a very kind of modest style. Not really worn as a warrior, but worn as a builder, as a tradesman, as a craftsman. You can see at his belt he wears a utility belt of different sorts of tools. At his back he bears some basic weapons, a couple of daggers maybe, made of bone. As you all know, metal weapons are incredibly rare, and even the leader of your party only carries bone daggers. And a ready smile. And the only other thing of note is a drum that carries at his side on a chain. A rounded, shallow drum. It seems out of place with all his other items. He walks up to you guys. Team, the name's Dave. I am Council's Choice. Now, many of you know Dave, or at least have heard of him. He is a popular, up-and-coming political figure here in Haven. He is a craftsman who has been making great gains amongst the people. And there's often talk about who will be a future mayor. And Dave's name has been bandied around many times as someone who potentially might become a future mayor. He works with communities. He works to feed the underprivileged. He's often involved in building projects, finding places that are in disrepair and helping to build them. He's generally seen as a good person in the city. He doesn't seem quite cut out to be an adventurer heading off into the wilderness, but he stands there before you, confident, smiling. Okay, guys. So, who are you? I've been given no information.
Dave, you know me. What are you talking about?
Oh, Muty. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. Sorry, it's a bit much, isn't it?
Yeah,
a bit
man.
much.
You asked me to take you out that time back then. Remember? I don't know why.
Yeah, well, it was for this, to be honest with you.
All right.
Look, let's get out of here. I don't think we can talk freely while we're still in the city gates. There's not going to be any fanfare. You can see Alara and Seraphina looking quite shifty. You need to go. You seem a little bit confused. Do any of you have any final words to say to Seraphina or Alara? You can see some guards up on the walls start turning some huge mechanical wheels, and as they do, a slit of light appears in the doors and they start to open. And as they do,
I feel. Oh, sorry. Continue.
that's okay. And as they do, a gush of hot, acrid air suddenly comes flooding in and assails your nostrils. The smell of the outside. Something that none of you have ever experienced, apart from Muty, and it seems Dave briefly. As the doors open, you can see a glimpse of fear on Dave's eyes, which he quickly quashes and looks at the confident faces before him. Okay. So we're heading north. We've had no time to plan, no time to communicate, and I've been told we need to get out now. There is supposed to be 3 other groups. Have they already gone? He calls over to Alora, and she's like, "Yeah, they've gone. Just go." You can hear a commotion.
Can I do like an insight check on this? Because it's kind of
Yeah.
sus why they're kicking us out so fast.
Yeah.
Sus.
Guys, come on, let's go. Look, I want to do this. We've got to succeed. I need to get back to my family.
Great.
I kind of wanted to do some like form of army. So
Alright.
I don't know why, but I feel like it's like a hand across the chest, almost like a slight bow. It's been a pleasure working for you, man.
Thank you. Your bravery will be remembered. Good luck. Please, find us a new home, says Alara, speaking up, finding her voice at last, speaking louder as she does. And you can see almost a tear in her eye. In fact, as she speaks, you can see several tears starting to form in her eyes. This is our only chance, guys. You and the other 3 groups. You are it.
I'd like to grab like a handful of dirt and put it in my pocket.
Okay, the
That's
city
all we
is
need.
dying, guys.
It's
Is there
home dirt.
Is there? Yeah, but is there only like relatively decent dirt around, or is it all shit?
It's all shit. Well, here it is.
Oh.
Nothing grows here because when every time these doors open, the outside elements come in, and for some reason the ground here is
let's
so
go.
sterile.
Before I left my grove, I filled my pocket with dirt to remember what the good stuff feels like.
But it could help us actually in the long run if we're trying to plant a seed.
Well, that's what I was thinking. I can eat it or something.
Use some home soil.
Find out the difference between the dirt. Don't know.
You walk
We're ready to
gingerly
go.
out from the gate. It's a strange feeling. You've always been surrounded by people. You've always been surrounded by buildings, by noise, by heat, by smells. And as you walk out, you see before you an arid, desolate wasteland. Your eyes struggle in the light. It's so bright here. You don't understand why it's so bright. The sun mercilessly beats down on you as it does from the east. It is the morning. You have a day. You are expecting some briefing time. You are expecting to have some time to plan your route. You don't quite understand why you've been sent outside, but as the last of you steps outside of the city walls, the gates close behind you. Everyone make perception rolls.
By the way, I'm here. I just realized Gabby's not home today, meaning I could just blast the sound out loud. And I haven't had any dinner, so I'm just running around, but at the same time listening.
Okay. Well, you're kind of crucial now.
I know. I've got to order delivery in 2 minutes.
Okay. I've just realised what I could put up is the map. So as you stand there, Muti brings forth his map. Dave huddles you together. Come in, guys. I think we've got a lot to say to each other. There's a lot to unpack about what's going on. But right now, Muti, how are we going to be safe?
How?
Everyone that ever gets banished out here dies.
Well,
So
we
where are we
need to
heading?
go either left, 45 degrees, or right, 45 degrees.
He brings out a tattered map, hand-drawn by Muti himself.
I remember you explained this not that long ago about the white places are good.
I'm just going to bring up the map now, actually. I should have had that as one of my feed items. So...
I do like the fact that you drew a giant scorpion on the map.
Yes, but the giant scorpion should be the least of your worries.
What is that? Is insect beasts?
Just insect beasts. Yeah, insect beasts.
Insect beasts. I've never seen one before.
Oh, you'll see one pretty quickly if we go that way.
But didn't you say something about how Mesa is messy? Like, don't go there.
Yeah, don't go there. Don't go anywhere, really. I don't know why we're here.
Dave laughs. We're here to save Haven, mate.
Yeah, I know, but like, I've been out here. We're gonna die.
Right. Muti.
You tell us with much confidence.
Happy thoughts. He starts banging on his drum. Boof, 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 boof. We got this, guys. We got this, team. We gotta get going to save everyone. That doesn't rhyme, but it's good. I'll make it work. Dum, dum.
It would be better if we had a queen.
Okay.
Sure, do what makes you happy, but there are facts.
I would like to see what the insect beasts are.
Sure, I'll show you one. I'm not getting
Shall
it.
we go towards the insect beasts?
Yeah, and then basically Muti turns around like this, and he shows 2 big holes here under his shoulder. Just
It's
under.
just gonna be battle scars.
Yeah, just like literal holes. You can almost see through them
We
inside.
say we go the other way, and you're like, I've got this scratch here.
So
No, this is obviously this happened. Insect beasts.
Dave looks at the map. So we got to head north. Right.
Good.
So
Great deduction.
Well, this
Is
this whip
north
guy
end
wants.
map is set at the top.
So
What's
how
the
far away are the first set of ruins?
So I'll answer this for you, Muti. I never actually told you this bit. So the ruins to the left are about a day's walk, but it tends to be fairly safe. The other safe ruins, both the ruins in white are safe ruins that they've been travelled to many times. They've been stripped bare by the foragers over the generations, and the one on the left you can get to most of the time without being caught, but the one on the right is far more treacherous. Any in red?
You say in red, is that mean they are like deadly or not searched?
Does anyone know anything about Mesa?
Deadly.
What's Mesa?
Deadly, okay. Mesa is messy, it's got a skull on it.
My food is here.
Okay, so
I mean, if you want my wisdom, I think we should go to the right ruins.
See? Insect beasts.
because it's better positioned for the long haul. I don't know what mess it is, and if we go left, we're probably going to have to go through it.
We'll have to go around it, yeah.
Muti has explained to you briefly that the lighter coloured area is the area that has been explored at any point by a forager. Once you get to that last ruins, however, no one has ever returned from that last ruins.
Well, how have they seen a large beast then?
In the distance,
Fucking hell, it
It's
must be
been
massive then.
sighted. Yeah. Well,
So,
there's a huge
I'm assuming they
valley.
just saw like a shadow of it.
Yeah, from where you are, you can definitely see in the distance this huge mesa rising out of the ground. Think Grand Canyon style. This is flattened on the top by wind over thousands of years, millions of years maybe, and it rises like a series of flat-topped spires. That, as far as the eye can see, in the very far distance, you can just make out the spiky croppings of a mountain range to the left and behind. In fact, kind of like enshrouding the mesa, but very far away. And then you can see to the right, in the far distance, like sharp, jagged rocks rising into the sky to the right. And like the map says, you can see that there's kind of like a depression, or somewhere that from here looks like there's a way through. You can't see any further than that from here. It's basically that. That's exactly that.
Ta-da!
Yes, you have managed to.
And why has it got a skull on it? Is that an actual skull that's engraved in the mountain, or is that just like a warning skull?
It's a warning skull.
I think it's a warning spell.
Do we know any history about that?
No.
Can I roll, or is that just a flat no?
You can make a history check.
Oh, fuck you. It was almost on a nat 20. 8, so just disregard that.
Your time has been spent mostly studying herbalism,
I've
Not-
got a -1 for
not-
intelligence, so
not geography.
I'm
Well,
not even going to try.
if it was up to me, I would go ruins by how hospitable is the actual outside?
Nothing
Yeah.
is inhospitable. Death is almost guaranteed.
So only in the ruins that we
So
can basically.
We probably want a
shelter.
shelter then at night.
Yeah.
Ruins, don't we?
So the ruins are shelter.
In which case, I think we should go to the far right ruins and then go diagonally left, and then try and basically take the big ruins eventually, and then set that up as like a forward operation base.
I think you have a lot of opinions for a guy who's never been out before.
It's just I've got a hunch, and I'm quite wise, you know.
So this would
I'll be the judge of that. I just met you.
Okay.
Okay, Palladir, your thoughts?
I think we should try and strike out because we know we're probably going to have to travel beyond the mountains. So we want to take the safest route to get as far away. We know we're traveling at least 3 days to find somewhere. So we just don't want to get caught up in anything between here and there. So I would be skirting around to the right ruins and away from the known areas that we want to avoid.
Dave,
Is it
Oh.
equal distance between the white ruins on the right and the red ruins on the right?
yes, roughly. Yeah, I mean it's probably like an hour or two longer. However, well, Musi, you know that you can tell them, but you know that the ruins on the far right tends to be fairly quiet. You tend to go to one of these two bases. Normally that you'd go to the one to the left to then go off somewhere further to the left, if that makes any sense. So you would then go to that one and then maybe off somewhere off map. However, your task is to go north, not east or west.
Exactly. So we go insect beasts.
Yes. I am looking forward to it.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Is there anything else we need to know?
What is insect beast?
What do they look
Well,
like?
I've seen a few. There's different ones. And he bites on a radish.
Do they have any weakness?
I don't know much about them. Muty. You know, so out of character here, you know that, as you said, there are various types of these arachnid type creatures, but they always tend to walk on 4 legs and they have 4 arms, these creatures over to this side. There is a rumour amongst some of the foragers that they have psionic capabilities. Though you've never seen it yourself before, you have fought them several times. Most of them tend to have large pincer-like arms that are good for stabbing. And they're incredibly fast, agile. They can jump almost like fleas. They can jump towards you and jump back very, very fast. They're very difficult to pin down.
Have I killed any?
Yes, oh, you've killed several.
So can I have some little trophies of the... Wait a second. Can my weapon be from their bone?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. In fact, most of the bone and chitin armor that
it's
was
from
used
them.
in the city comes from them.
Wow.
Um,
What's the most precious part of one of these animals?
their brain tastes nice.
Oh, okay. Something that's not perishable.
Yeah. You do tend to eat them because flesh is so rare out here. And when you're out and about, any meal is ideal.
Oh, yeah. I've eaten meat. You haven't.
That's it. You got
I'd rather stick to my good berries.
Tree hugger.
Oh.
So, one more thing before you head off is that you have 14 days of rations for the 5 of you.
That lasts me 28.
Yeah, you can be you can choose to just eat them all at once over the 14 days, not in one day. That would be pretty bad. Or you can
That
choose.
is an option.
It's an option. Or you can choose to try and pace it out. The herbalist is able to each day grow crops, mostly kale, some small greens, cress, that sort of thing. So things that can grow incredibly fast, as advanced as radishes. You can grow them. Green Guardian, Greenie. Need to give you an easier name to say flip off the tongue. You can grow them fairly quickly. To the point where you sit down in the evening, you can sit there and pour your druidic magic into them to be able to grow them. It's a mutation or an amendment to the druidic druidcraft cantrip that allows you to focus your energies, much like a machinist will focus their arcane power on creating pellets. You can focus your druidic powers on growing food-producing plants. And you can also draw water from the ground with your create water spell.
Why wouldn't I just make good berries? I mean, it takes 1 level 1 spell and I get 10 berries. And that gives everyone a full nourishment for a day.
You can do that.
As long as I have a first level spell.
Yeah.
I can feed everyone.
Yeah, you would still need to create water.
Yeah. So yeah, does it not take any spell slots to then grow the food and get the water?
Well, the water does, because it's a level 1 spell, create water. But the
I need to give that to myself then, because I don't have it. I guess. So.
yeah, I thought. Did you not have that as a background thing? No, I don't know. Yeah, you definitely need to have that spell.
Okay.
If you haven't got it, I wasn't sure if that was one of the ones that was gifted as part of your herbalist choice background. Right. Okay. You head off. It feels strange to you, most of you, to be walking in the same direction for such a long period of time. In fact, your bodies are ill-adjusted to it. You're so used to basically walking around, apart from Mute. You're so used to walking around over, around corridors, upstairs, downstairs. It's not that you're unfit. It's just a strange sensation to just suddenly basically be doing power walking for miles on end. The ground beneath your feet is mostly kind of a dusty sand and gravel. It's rocky. There are some areas where there's fissures in the ground, but they're all dormant. You've heard stories of lava flowing freely, liquid rock that flows like an orange morass over the ground. But there's none of that here. This is mostly just dry and arid. And after a while, you start to see the sun scan up into the sky, bearing down on you. Everyone make Constitution saving throws, apart from Muti.
Well, that did not go well.
That certainly didn't go well. 1.
Oh dear. Demetrius, Palladir, weariness starts to come over you. This is a strange...
Oh, we're friends.
It's a strange form of weariness. Your legs are aching from so much walking. Your arms are aching from so much swinging. Your backs are starting to hurt from carrying your packs burdened down with bedrolls, tents, supplies. It's a strange feeling. And for both of you, take an exhaustion point. Okay. Can I have everyone's passive perception scores, please?
Is there somewhere to note exhaustion points?
Yeah, on the character sheet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If you go on conditions, and then at the bottom of conditions is exhaustion.
Mine's 16.
15.
13.
what were you after? Perception.
Passive
Passive.
perception.
Yeah, 11.
And Brian's is...
Thought his name was Dave.
Right.
Yeah, Dave.
Ryan? Dave. Who the hell is Ryan? I wrote down Ryan. I'm like, it's Dave.
We've got somebody pretending to be Dave here. An imposter.
Okay. As you carry on walking, in the distance, you start to see almost animal-like ribs of stone start to jut from the ground. You can only surmise, given the time of day and the level of tiredness that you feel, that maybe this is the ruins. Green Guardian, as you walk, you occasionally put your hand down, touching the soil, trying to feel for the life force of the Earth Mother. And as you do, you start to feel a rumbling. The ground is starting to shake.
I warn the party.
What do you say?
Halt! I feel a disturbance in the ground force.
Yeah, I know. It's the beast is.
I believe we are in danger.
Yeah, I know.
Prepare yourselves.
Yeah, I'm aware.
I will cast Mage Armor on myself.
Oh, that's a good start. Yeah.
I was going to say I'll probably be setting that every 8 hours.
Yeah. As you say that, you see the warlock just suddenly starts armoring up, arcane words spilling from his mouth in panic, and a blue shimmer. Most of you have not really been involved in much form of combat. However, you have been prepared, and you're not naive to it. As level 3 characters, you've seen your fair share of troubles. You fought your fair share of brigands. Not so much for you as a machinist, but your arcane abilities are incredibly advanced compared to most of your peers. Whereas for the other three of you, you've had to get your hands dirty at times. The Guardians had to protect groves from starving miscreants from down below. Demetrius has had to quell several riots and bring many miscreants to justice, harsh or otherwise. And of course, Mute literally spends the majority of his time out here. Not so much north, though. You've kind of gone as far as you can with north. You weren't particularly happy with being chosen for this roster, to be honest with you. But they
No.
were, especially given you consider yourself one of the most experienced of the foragers.
Yeah, but I like my comfort zone.
Yeah. This place is ruinous for any that travel this path. Okay, I'm going to give you one round before something happens. The Warlock has already cast Mage Armor. Is there anything that anyone wants to do with that one round of pre-warning?
Are we being told that something's going to happen?
The Guardian kind of calls out there's something happening. And you, Mute, at first you try to dismiss it. You've been here many times. What could these guys know about the waste? But then you too, as you stop and really focus on it, start to feel the shaking.
I would like to cast Pass Without Trace.
Okay, how many people does that apply to?
Up to it's just 30 foot. As many people as I want.
Okay.
You and each creature have plus 10 dex stealth. I think we should. I tell everyone to get low to the ground and center their footsteps to be gentle and methodical.
See, I was going to rage, but then I'm pretty sure if you don't hurt someone with it, then it goes. So there's no point me raging until I need to.
And
Okay.
as I do, I kind of pull some dirt out of my pocket, sprinkle it in the air. Oh shit! And it creates a cloud of dust around us.
And Dave gathers you together and mumbles words of arcane power. And as he does, you feel a new resilience forming over you. He can only do this for 3 people. Mute, Demetrius, and Green Guardian. I struggle with that name.
Just call me G.
G.
Just GG. You can call me GG.
G. You suddenly feel yourself flourishing with the health of an aid spell. Each of you gains 5 temporary. Your target's maximum hit point and current hit points increase by 5 for the next 8 hours. So that means that your actual hit points increase by 5.
Cool.
So you can heal up to that again as well. That's not temporary hit points. That's a new maximum for the next 8 hours.
Yeah.
He turns to you. Stay back with me. These guys can handle themselves. Paladin.
Hopefully it doesn't come to that. Let's be quiet and see if they pass.
Okay. As you do, the ground erupts around you, and you see a series of these strange arachnid-like creatures erupt from the ground. Huge bug eyes on the round heads, almost human-like heads in some ways, except for the giant antennae and the long stalky neck, which leads to a lean body with 4 legs gripping onto the ground and another 4 arms rising into the air. And they make a hideous clicking noise as they erupt around you. Everyone roll for initiative.
Do we get no chance of stealthing at all?
No, they detected you before then. And then all the casting of the spells.
Well, that's a shame.
Just a 22. battle map.
Yeah, battle map up. Okay, so the scene is you've been walking across this land for hours now. Rocky outcroppings are all around you all the time. You almost become used to them. The map does show some strange green, almost plant-looking edifices. If you try to touch them, you realise these are fossilised. There's no nutrients to be had here. These are just mere shadows of plants that would have once lived here at the time before the fall. And there you go. 3 of these creatures immediately pop up around you, but you can sense the noise of more. Oh, I need to roll for initiative for Dave as well. Dave gets a healthy 6. Oh yeah, he's in the fight.
Did
Right.
better than me.
Okay. Musi, you know this song. You've fought this battle many times. You've never had to fight 3 at the same time, however. But you also, with your battle sense, you're pretty aware that there might be more outgoing here. Normally you go individually. The forager's way is always one of the loner. You always go individually to find your resources, because you know if you're ever attacked, there's a good chance of you being killed. And so, by going alone, it reduces the number of losses that you face. And it also increases the resilience of all of you as fighters.
Can I roll a survival to see if I know of any weak spots or, I don't know, allergies of these creatures? Like,
Yes,
I will roll that.
that's a great idea.
18.
What's the distance that they're away? What's the square?
Well, each one of those is obviously 5 feet.
5 feet. I couldn't remember. So they're about, the first one's about 90 foot.
Oh, I thought I put it in squares. Yes, I haven't counted it, but yes,
The first one I count as 80, 85.
Yeah.
depends who you are. Yeah, 5,
Yeah.
10, 15, 20. Obviously, there's anything that's got the darker terrain, that is difficult terrain. These fossilized plants are almost razor-like. If you were to try and run over them quickly, they would lacerate and slow you. 15, 20. Yeah, you're 80 feet away from the nearest one, Palladir. Muti. Okay.
Yes.
So you know that these creatures, they can leap incredibly fast and far, and so there's no guarantee of keeping distance from them, and they often leap in on those with the most psychic capability. There is a rumour amongst some of the foragers that these creatures have psionic abilities, much like some of the Haven dwellers that you're aware of through their arcane forge mutations. These creatures also have some latent abilities. As long as you don't fight a blue one, they say, you're okay.
Love
Can't
Charlotte.
imagine what's coming next.
Can I ask, when we get a bit closer to them, could you enlarge the icon so I know what I look like?
Oh, they've only got 2 feet. Sorry, they've only got 2 feet and 4 arms. Not 4 feet and 4 arms. 2 feet and 4 arms. They're a medium-sized monstrosity. They're humanoid in scale.
Of course, I know they jump very high because I learned how to jump from them. My wild leap comes from them, right?
Yes. Yeah, from studying them and fighting them over the years.
Yeah,
That is definitely how that came about.
exactly. Anyway,
Right.
okay,
I'm
guys,
gonna shrink it back down now.
there's a group. These creatures. Wait, is it my turn? Are we playing my turn right now?
Yeah, your initiative is 22. You are
Oh, right.
You are
But this
leading
is
the pack.
Play my 6 seconds, right?
Mute, Demetrius, Palladir. We are in initiative order. 6-second rounds. 1 action, 1 bonus action, and a reaction.
Right. No time to give speeches or do things. I'll just move a little. So move me forward in position. Just 5 squares. Wait, what's my
Six
45?
squares.
Sorry, no, I've got 45 feet walking speed.
Dang. Well, don't forget these plants are quite rough terrain, so they're going to be double cost.
Yeah. I'll go around the bottom pillar.
Unless you want to leap over them.
Oh, wild leap. Yeah, baby.
You're going to wild leap.
Yeah, but I'd rather wild leap. This is what I want to do.
Okay.
I want to wild leap on that stone pillar that's very close to us and try to hold on to it and have an advantage.
If they come to you.
Well, to be above them, yeah, exactly. So high ground.
Are you ranged then?
No, I'm not ranged. I'll jump on them and stuff. I'm just positioning myself, dude.
Okay.
Chill.
You which one? Right. Okay. So you can move. You can move 5, 10, 15, and then you wild leap up onto the rock, jumping into the air and then jumping again, landing on it. You look down and you can see these creatures advancing. But now that you've done that, you can see that there's actually more behind the rock.
How many more? Give me numbers.
There's 2 more, but one of them is much larger than the others and has a blue skin hue.
Have I seen one before?
No, never.
Oh, okay, guys, come to the pillar. Here, at the bottom of the pillar. Thank you. There's a big one in the back. I can see from here. If he comes, we're fucked.
At the moment, you don't think they've seen the others, but those 2 at the back can now see you.
Yeah, I'm screaming at my group about
Okay, what's your
big
action?
guy. There's a blue one, big.
What's your
I
action?
love how you sound South African.
I don't know what I sound like. I'm just trying something.
Settling it in. Trying on
I
some
love
size.
it.
See if it suits you.
I love it.
Anyway, I will hold my action to attack once someone comes, because I need to do some research on how to play a fucking monk. So I have no idea what to do at this point.
Well, I mean, you could literally 45.
You don't need to explain. I'll read it. Don't worry.
Yeah, because you can normally rush in, but they might come to you.
Yeah,
So
but
you
I don't
take-
want to die.
You take a ready
They
action.
die. They die first.
Yeah. Monk, you strike one of those poses.
Oh, when I say they, I mean these newbies.
They're gonna die.
I mean, I don't want to die first. They die. If I die last.
Possibly.
Yeah.
You don't know how capable they are. Demetrius, you can see that the
Thank
monk has just leapt
you.
onto a rock and has taken some sort of martial arts stance, looking very dramatic. Little wind tussling his top knot.
Are
as well.
you okay to keep going, or did you need to pause?
Oh shit! It's 8:30. Right. We shall take a deep pause. A quick pause. Sorry.
Cool.
I need to
What
go.
time is that?
Yeah, 9 o'clock probably.
Alright, half hour.
Yes.
I just thought pausing. A, it's time, but B, there's a dramatic pose on a rock. For like,
Yeah. Yes. So
Dramatic
we're
pause.
starting the first
It's not
turn.
dramatic.
It's very
Just so
dramatic.
you know.